Welcome to Coding Along. This is Sam. If you're new to this channel, we do tutorials on JavaScript, programming as a whole, Python, data structures and algorithm. We do a lot of projects too. So yeah, hit the subscribe button if that's something you're interested in. So let's get to it. So we can see today we will be talking about 12 important things every web developer should know. So you should know these things, and these things are concepts, practices, functionalities, ideas, just things that you go through in web development. And this is really independent of language. So it doesn't matter if you're a Python or Java or JavaScript developer, you will come across all these things when you're having your projects or when practicing or when being a web developer. So let's get to it. What is web development? I think this is really basic. What is it? Like just understanding web development, the client side development, server side development, database creation. These are all the things that like have to be known. So web development, like building and the maintenance of the website, and just knowing like how to make it work fast and perform well with seamless user interface and experience. So these are the things that you have to know, and this is a really high level of like the smaller details which we'll go through in this video. And yeah, the second thing is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Yeah, understanding HTML being the one that's making the marking content, and also JavaScript, which is more about interactivity, and CSS, which is about styling and formatting that marked up content. So this is very important, and yeah, I will be releasing a HTML, a JavaScript course. Maybe if you guys really want to also add a HTML and CSS course too. But yeah, that's it. You have to understand this, understand them fully, and also practice with them. Like start building stuff with HTML. Start building projects on your own. You can still watch tutorials, but after watching tutorials, try and build it yourself. So yes. The third is GitHub and Git. So understanding Git, how to clone, how to commit, how to push, how to pull requests, how to merge. These are things that you will come across when you start development. And Git is basically a version control system, while GitHub is the service where you can push your repository. So to basically host your code. So these are things that you will need because when you start projects, you will maybe want to, you can't finish the project in a day and you will want to commit different versions of that project. So if maybe you make a change to the project and yeah, you're having some problems, you can go to different versions of that project, and you will be able to at least have that part of it and then start from there again. So the next is browser dev tools. So element tabs, understanding the element tab where you can view and edit your HTML and CSS, the console where you can track your JavaScript errors, warning, console also can be there's console.log, which is used for debugging. That's also very important. And also web applications where you can have all your browser based storage and caching. So, and also the network tab, because the network tab basically shows every request that is happening and the response, the status quo shows loaded files, and it's a really like even the memory too. So these are things that you will need to know in web development, and they are you just for you to go with Chrome, you just use the inspect. If you right click and you click on inspect, you should be able to see your developer tool. So the next is responsive web design. So you should be able to create responsive website. And what do we mean by responsive website? We mean website that look the way you want them to look, number one, and the way they look good on mobile, on tablet, on desktop, on laptops. So this is very important because especially the mobile part, because a lot of people are browsing through their mobiles. Desktop are still being used, but mobiles are being used even more every day. So it's good to be able to make your websites or your applications responsive. So the next is authentication. So most websites that have any kind of functionality are going to have authentication for tracking users, which is very important, and also for creating user accounts for login. It's how to create logins. Nowadays, you can use GitHub. You can use, of course, your email to create an account, and also to block important pages that maybe you don't want some people who are not subscribed to your website to see. So this is very important. And this is something that you will come across and will need to do, especially when you're building apps for customers, for clients, and all that. So this is important too. And the next is consuming an API. This is basically dealing with third-party database using fetching and Axios. So the ability to deal with an API, fetch the data, make posts, make requests, pull posts. So all these things are important, and just understanding even HTTP verbs and knowing how they work, as well as HTTP status code. These are things that will help you in the long run, and also these are things that will make you a better developer and make clients actually want to hire you. So the next, it's good to go to the next, which is building a REST API and CRUD. So what is CRUD? CRUD is read, create, read, update, and delete. So instead of just consuming the API now, you're building it. That's one thing you have to realize. First, as you saw in the video, we first you just consume it, use the API. Then after that, try and build an API by yourself. And this is gonna make you just understand how the web works. You will need to learn how to connect to a database, make queries, get data, how to insert data into the database. Basically, you have to know how to connect an application to a database. So this is the basis of all this. And this is something that you will do, especially when you're dealing with companies and clients who have a lot of users or a lot of subscribers into their company. So now we also go to MVC, which is Model View Controller. And this is basically just a design pattern. And most of the higher level frameworks like Laravel, Django are built on MVC. And you can also create your own MVC structure, which is basically what the user sees, and it could be React. The controller is where it takes a request and decides what to do, e.g., get some data, load the view. So next is problem solving and searching. So this is also something, data structures and algorithms, understanding when to use arrays, when to use lists, when to use heap, when to use how to solve for matrix, binary trees, all this sorting algorithm, understanding recursion on a very deep level. All these are very important and are things that if you understand will make you a better developer. And of course, searching Google, because no matter, even if you're 30 years old in this industry, you will still come across things that you don't understand fully and will need to search them and be able to use that searching, being able to search and actually from not knowing understand what you need to do or what you need to do to actually understand the topic or the problem you're having better. So this is something that is very important. Doesn't matter what programming language, doesn't matter what project, you will come across things that you don't understand. So having this in your toolbox, practicing this will help you a lot. And now it's writing tests. And for this, they're just mainly for production applications. And also, writing tests are, yeah, like having understanding the basics of it, unit testing, and this is mainly for really large projects. Because if you're doing a really large project, it's good to take and make tests because it will save you time, it will save you problems in the future for your program. So it's good to do some basic tests like unit tests and functional tests. So yeah, this is something that will help a lot, especially when you're dealing with big projects. And the last is DevOps and deployment. So we know we have DevOps engineer who focus on this, but as a web developer, what you just have to think about is more of deployment, maintenance, and scaling. And I personally use Heroku, which is really good for to make an application and push it to production really quick and easily. And there are other ones you could use too, but I use Heroku. So yeah, this is the 12 things. And yeah, it looks very crowded here, and it might look a lot, but don't worry, you will get there. This is not it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, it's a journey, and you will get better over time. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below. If you liked it, please give a like, subscribe to the channel. We release daily contents on web development, on programming, on problem solving. And yeah, take care and goodbye.